We begin with the news. In the United States, former President and Republican candidate Donald Trump was wounded at a campaign rally in the state of Pennsylvania after several gunshots were fired. U.S. Secret Service reported 2 people were killed, a spectator of the rally and the shooter, who was neutralized on a rooftop in an adjacent building to the rally grounds. Authorities also reported that 2 other attendees are critically injured. The Secret Service said the former president is safe after he was rushed off the rally stage with blood on his face. According to law enforcement officials, the shooting is being investigated as an attempted assassination. And after the shooting at the campaign event where presidential candidate Donald Trump was wounded, some witnesses reported seeing a man walking on a rooftop, which they reported to the authorities.
I was up at the fence line, saw the guy move from roof to roof, told an officer that he was on the roof. The officer come looking, I went back to where I was heard that there was somebody that could see the person, so I went back to where they were standing, saw the person, went back and told the officer again that if he goes back to that particular spot, he can see the person, figuring that he would go in radio. And when I turned around to go back to where I was is when the gunshots started, and then it was just chaos and we all came running away. And that.
The FBI identified the shooter who attacked former President Donald Trump as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, a white man originally from Bethel Park in the state of Pennsylvania. According to several U.S. media, Crooks was registered as a Republican voter. Images of the attacker shooting from a rooftop 137 meters away from the Republican candidate spread in social media. So far, the subject motivations are unknown. Also, it is still not clear if the shooter acted alone or had accomplices. Former President Donald Trump arrived after midnight at a Newark airport in New Jersey and got off his private plane in apparent good condition. It is unknown if the former president will have any activity this Sunday. His campaign team has already confirmed that his presence is expected on Monday at the Republican convention in Milwaukee, where the party will formalize its candidacy for the elections. Now let's take a look at updated figures on the scourge of gun violence published by the Gun Violence Archive organization in the United States. So far this year, 2024, 291 mass shootings have been reported in the United States. Among these, at least 16 massacres or mass murders have been reported, meaning events in which more than 4 people died, while the number of people killed in gun-related episodes amounted to 9,088. It is reported that 127 were children under 11 years of age and 636 were adolescents, for a total of 763 minors. Former President Donald Trump has repeatedly spoken out and pledged to safeguard the rights of gun owners in the country should he win the presidential election. In official statements to the press, the Republican Party standard-bearer expressed his refusal to maintain stricter controls on access to firearms after the massacre at a school in Texas and said that decent citizens should carry guns to defend themselves. The presidential candidate also added that guns are necessary to provide security in schools and plans to arm teachers at the National Rifle Association convention. These statements by former President Donald Trump came a year before the recent attempt on his life during a rally in the state of Pennsylvania, from which he escaped with his life and is being treated by medical personnel.